We are back once again. Welcome to the Fourth and Goal podcast. We're a week closer to the start of the season. And as we get closer, Paul, the significant milestones are being reached. And the latest one, just to kick off, is this week they released the Madden 99 Club for this year. So I thought I'd just start on a light note. There's
Yep.
7 members. We've got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Saquon Barkley, Lane Johnson, and Myles Garrett. So I'll just put the question to you. Is anyone missing from this list? I feel like there's one that we will both scream out.
So Trent Williams so he's dropped off.
He's dropped off. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Uh, well, there's only Lamar Jackson at quarterback.
Josh Allen and
Okay.
Lamar Jackson.
Okay. So, I mean, to my short-term and long-term memory, Lamar Jackson has not won a Super Bowl. So Madden ratings don't seem to include. I thought that would be an X factor. I forget the Madden term, superstar X factor development.
Lamar is like, in Madden terms, yeah, he's a 99 player for sure. Like
Yeah,
it's not. It's
having played Madden, Lamar would be the perfect kind of quarterback to play with, wouldn't he?
yeah.
They got run the speed. Josh Allen with the trucking and the throw power. Yeah, Mahomes isn't on the list. Just
That's exactly the first name I thought. I get it. Like,
yeah.
well, actually, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't get it. Like, he is a 99 quarterback. I don't care.
And Derrick Henry's not.
That was the other one that I had in mind. King Henry is not. So again, he feels like he should be another 99 running back alongside Saquon.
And then on the defensive side, yeah, you said Myles Garrett, but there's no Micah, DJ
That's
Watt,
it. It was only Myles Garrett on the defensive side.
no defensive player of the year in Pat Surtain.
Okay, you've literally ticked my list. That was the third name that I had was Pat Surtain. So,
Well, I mean, he is the best cornerback in the NFL and
he
the
shuts down half the field. So,
reigning defensive player of the year.
mm.
Okay. Well, Madden's, yeah, I mean, you see the videos at training camp where players are insulted by their Madden ratings and use it as motivation throughout the year. So I don't think I think it's more a social media thing. I don't think they're particularly bothered. They're
Yeah.
if you're worried about being 99 rated in Madden, then you're probably compensated fairly well with your base pay in your contract. So you've got other things to worry about. If you're worrying about your Madden rating, then you're not paying attention to the upcoming season. Football starts tomorrow night, by the way. Tomorrow
It
night,
does. We get to see Trey Lance.
the third coming of Trey Lance. Maybe third time's lucky.
There we go.
And who knows? You know, you never know. NFL, not for long. Maybe Justin Herbert goes down. You know, you never want a player to get injured, but who knows? Trey Lance could be playing competitive football, not in a Hall of Fame game in August.
Yeah.
A year. Chargers fans would hope not, but you know, he was a first round pick, as you well know, a high draft pick. So
a very high and expensive draft pick.
maybe there's a player in there somewhere.
Well, we'll see. So we're here to talk about not Madden, but we're here to talk about the NFC West today. And this division, I think, has been like one of the premier divisions in the NFL over the last few years. I'm not sure that it is right now, though.
Do you
But
think?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think it's one of a few divisions, and I can think off the top of the straight off the bat of two, possibly three divisions where I could make a legitimate case and hold a straight face for each of the teams winning this division.
I see your point. Yeah, in terms of closeness, it is.
Yeah.
But I was more thinking about in terms of elite quality.
Mm.
It's not quite where it's been in the past, I think.
Yeah, possibly, but the Rams were, as people, recency bias, they were the closest team to the Eagles, at least in the playoffs, to knocking off the Eagles and the 49ers. Sorry to bring up past traumas, but made it to the Super Bowl a couple of times and only just got knocked off by Mahomes. So,
Yeah,
and the Seahawks are always going to be competitive,
they
and
are.
and the Cardinals are just a pain in the butt for everybody. Just, as you know, they seem to win all.
They're the upset team, aren't they? They just will hurt you when you least expect it.
Yeah, the Cardinals are just totally nuts. I mean, predicting the Cardinals record. The only thing you can say with the Cardinals, based on history, based on recent history, anyway, is that they will be inconsistent.
Yeah, yeah, for
They
sure.
defy logic and go into Santa Clara and beat San Francisco when they're not supposed to, and then they will drop a game when they're not supposed to, and it completely depends on Kyler Murray almost, and his plays just seems to vary wildly.
Beat the Rams 41-10 last year. I mean,
Yeah, and finished the year 8-9, and I
yeah,
heard this, and it is actually true. Is that you'd almost want Kyler Murray to be a little bit less naturally talented if it meant that he would be more consistent.
mm,
Because
yeah.
when he's on it, he
Oh,
is like he's got throw power, deep ball, pretty decent accuracy, and he's got the running ability and elusiveness of Lamar Jackson in the open field.
it happened last year to the 49ers. They didn't set the edge properly once. Bang, 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he'll next series just make a complete bonehead pick. And it's just a complete roller coaster with him.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, here I want you to give me your thoughts. I didn't have this in mind, but I've got it now. Just a very quick start bench cut. NFC West quarterbacks: Brock Purdy, Kyler Murray, Sam Darnold.
Ooh. So I'd cut Sam Darnold
Yeah.
one season, show me another season,
Mm.
and one season with O'Connell. I'd bench I'd bench Kyler Murray just because I need to know that I'm going to get at least a 7 out of 10 performance. I'm going to get, I'm not going to get that wild swing that you do tend to get with Kyler Murray. And I'd start Brock Purdy. Like, this is the guy who, yeah, he's been criticized for the contract. He's been criticized for, oh, he's a product of the system. No, if you pay attention to the games, he can read defenses. He's accurate. He doesn't have elite throw power, but he is he is a good enough quarterback to win in this league. He's taken a team, okay talented and okay well coached, but he's still taken a team to the Super Bowl twice. So I would start Purdy.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. If I'm honest, I would bench Purdy and I'd take the gamble on Kyler Murray. But in reality, it's almost like you want to take Kyler Murray's talent and take Purdy's intangibles and put them together.
Yeah.
Because as you said, the thing with Purdy is the one thing he is elite at is processing and
Mm.
reading the defenses. Like he's very good at that. And his anticipation. I mean, the guy said he's often throwing not being able to see downfield because he's not the tallest, but it's being prepared, knowing exactly the throws he has to make on the plays that are given. Like I commend him on all of that stuff.
Yeah. But Purdy is on the clock because it did kind of fall apart for the Niners last year at the end.
Exactly. And
And
that's why I would go with Kyler Murray because I feel like he's never been in a 49ers situation where I think with someone like Shanahan, I think he would, probably be like more consistent just from the fact that the offense is quarterback friendly.
yeah.
Um, and he's never obviously played with the talent level that peak 49ers team over the last few years. He's never seen that quality of offense at the Cardinals.
Do you believe, the that story about, and I can't remember the game, but him,
Call of Duty.
right. So yeah, he wasn't interested or he wasn't paying enough attention to the playbook. And
Yeah.
suddenly either he did or the story just went away and he got paid. The story's gone away, but the inconsistent play has remained.
Yeah. There was a correlation where his numbers went down or like his, interceptions went up when the new game was released. It was sort of like a here's Kyler Murray, here's the date of release going like this, and suddenly it was like that.
Wow.
But
Well, at
yeah.
least Call of Duty, it's not being sinister. Well, it's a game where you're murdering people, but it's not. He's not doing anything outside of his house in public.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
but yeah, that's it with the Cardinals. Just yeah,
Yeah.
Kyler Murray has turned up today, and Kyler Murray is coming out for this offensive possession. Who knows?
Mm.
And the other teams in that division don't know. So how do you prepare for them? You don't.
I mean, when you look at the division and you look at what Vegas thinks of this division, I'm just gonna read you out the odds right now. And
Yeah.
it made me laugh. 49ers are favourites at 6-4.
Well, easy schedule apparently. And there is such a thing as an easy schedule. So the Niners are going to coast their way to 12, 13 wins apparently.
Well, we're gonna find out because I'm gonna be doing the win-loss for my Niners. At second, you've got the Rams at 7-4. So we're going to find out from you when you do their win loss. What truly is their record. And just to say, the Niners are set at 10.5 wins. The Rams are set at 9.5 wins. You've then got the Cardinals, which surprised me, as third favourites, 7-2 at 8.5 wins. And then you've got the Seahawks 5-1 at 8.5 wins. Now, I don't think that they will win the division, but that's a hell of a value bet in a very close division.
That's got to be the closest. I know we said earlier on that the
NFC North, I think.
yeah, in terms of bets, but I'm sure the Bears were 7.5, maybe now 8.5 wins with the love the Bears are getting. But the would have been 10.5, 11.5 wins. So that what I'm saying,
Possibly
there's
more.
four-win spread, and in this division there's 2-win spread.
2-win spread.
2-win spread across the division. Like that's crazy.
Mm.
That's crazy. Yeah, the Cardinals have improved. Well, the Cardinals, at least on paper, have improved. We've touched on Kyler Murray could just make or break it, but they've drafted well. They've gone and picked up some veterans as well on defense. And the Seahawks, who knows with the Seahawks? The defense will be pretty good. Added DeMarcus Lawrence as well to it. So
big changes on offense. Like you think they've gone from Geno, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett to Darnold, Cup, and my good friend Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Now, obviously, they've got Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is going to be their guy, really. But
yeah,
I'm looking at...
I like
him a lot. But I'm looking at the before three and I'm looking at the after three and I'm thinking, this is a bit of a downgrade.
Yeah, or ride or die with the quarterback because this is Kubiak is the OC and Kubiak runs a lot of play action, which Sam Darnold they were doing a lot of play action in Minnesota. So it should be comfortable for Sam Darnold, but their O-line, that's always a thing with Seattle. They took a guard in the first round of the draft, and they took a guard in the draft last year so if those two guys can step up, then at least their O-line should be improved. I like Kenneth Walker at running back. I think he's decent, but he needs good O-line play. And if you're running play action, you definitely need a good running game and a good O-line. So Seahawks, to me at least, will ride or die with the play of this offensive line.
I'd like to know how much influence the game against the Vikings had in their decision-making. Because if you remember last December, that game was absolutely bonkers. And Darnold, one thing I do like about Darnold in the pocket, he does stand tough. Like he will, okay, forget about the last two games of the season. Like he makes plays. Like he will stand in there, wait for his reads to progress and make the throws. And yeah, I wanted to bring up that game because very happy memories for myself with one certain 40-1 bet of it was Darnold, Geno Smith, both to score 3 passing touchdowns, and yeah, that was the big win of last year.
Yeah, until he does it for at least a couple of years, it will always be held against him, Sam Darnold. And there's always expectations with really high draft picks. And of course, he was drafted extremely highly in the first round by the New York Jets. So, but he seems to be getting himself together. And Seattle's probably a good place for him. So, yeah.
It is a 1-year prove-it deal. Like, the contract isn't what I think he was hoping for. So those last 2 games really did hurt him. But at least he's got the chance. This is his job. It's his to keep.
Yeah. Younger than Geno.
Yeah.
So if it goes well, he could have a job for quite a few years.
Definitely. Okay, so yeah, we're going to deep dive into each of these teams, but I thought before we do that, let's do a little litmus test on the talent in the division. We're going to do an NFC West non-quarterback draft. Paul, do you want to do the honors? You can take first pick. Who would you take in the NFC West as your number 1 pick?
Non-quarterback. In the NFC West. I am going to take a critical position. He's getting on in age, but I'll take Trent Williams. You build a roster around a left tackle, as you know. And is he still the best left tackle in the NFL?
It just comes down to health. When he's healthy, he's unbelievable.
Okay, yeah, I take Trent Williams.
Okay. I'm going to take the player that I think is actually the best player in this division outside of Matt Stafford, and it is my defensive general, Fred Warner. I mean, this guy, I just love to watch him. He does everything. Like he can read the quarterback, he can pursue, like he's got very high IQ, leadership's there, high energy player. Your defensive players will feed off of him. He's the complete off-ball linebacker and I know I'm biased, but I would take him over anyone in the league.
Yeah, I'll take before what Saquon did last year. I'll take and just completely changed the running back position. Before him, it was CMC. And if he can be healthy, then the 49ers are going to the playoffs. It's as simple as that. So Christian McCaffrey is still an elite player in the NFL, and I'll take him.
Okay. Well, this is more like a 49ers draft, and it's going to continue because I'm taking my man George Kittle. I don't care what anyone says. Like, I get Brock Bowers is coming, but this guy is the best tight end in the NFL because not only is he great in the passing game, but it's the impact he has on protection, on run. You just look at the 49ers running numbers with and without Kittle on the field. Like, he loves every part of this job because it's not just pass catching. And when you look at the pass catching, he's still got so much explosion in quick bursts after the catch. So we will continue this NFC West draft with the fourth 49er, George Kittle.
I'll take. I'm going to take one of the Rams D linemen, but I don't know which one. I'll take Verse. I think this was very close with the Eagles for being the best defensive line in the NFL towards the end of last year. And a big part of that was this guy. He talked the talk before the Eagles game, and he still went in there and produced. And still, so this guy's big time. He's got ego. He's going to be a superstar in this league. I'll take Jared Verse.
I'm gutted that you took him. That's who I wanted because, I mean, he just is so well balanced. Like, he's really good in the run game, like, really good. But then he's got that explosion off the line in the pass rush. So, great pick.
Well, take the other one. Take the other one because I was between the two young ones. So who was it? Kobe Turner.
You know what? I'm gonna take Puka Nacua because
We've left Nick Bosa on the board.
we've left Nick Bosa on the board. I do love Nick Bosa, but I don't think that he is at that same level as a Myles Garrett or a TJ Watt, personally.
Yeah.
He's still really dominant, but I don't think he's quite at that level. So I'm going to take Puka Nacua because I've been really impressed with Nacua. Like last year, Cup was kind of he had some injuries. It was kind of over for him, really.
Yeah.
Like the passing of the torch had been done. Nacua has proven he can handle volume. He's going to put his body on the line to make big plays for this team, 100%. I love his intangibles. So to round off this draft, I'll take Puka Nacua.
Honorable mention to Devon Weatherspoon of the Seahawks, who plays inside, outside, just very good in coverage, can tackle in the open field, very good player. Julian Love of the Seahawks at safety, he's a very good secondary player. Who else are we leaving out? the two running backs. So to me, they're quite similar. I'm sure other people would hate me for this, but I think Kyren Williams and Kenneth Walker are both, to me at least, young, kind of quick, but I don't see a lot separating them until they have an elite year. Then they're not going to challenge the Henrys and McCaffreys and Saquons of this world. But those two running backs are decent.
Trey McBride I'm impressed with him. Like he's a good up and coming tight end.
He's got some love for sure. I went with Trent Williams just because if he's not out there, then it completely falls apart.
Yeah.
It's literally as simple as that. Is he active? The 49ers can win. Is he not? Oh, okay.
It is like the 49ers offensive line. I think I've said this in the past. The reputation is that it's like one of the better offensive lines, but I'm afraid I'd have to say that a lot is down to Trent Williams being there. If he's not there, it's pretty mid, I'd say.
Yeah.
Outside of like some Shanahan magic, schematically, it's a fairly average offensive line.
Yeah, the other guy on the Rams is Braden Fisk.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's a young group. Very good.
Came along towards the end. Kobe Turner as well. Yeah, and these are not. I think they were all second round pick. Well, I think was Verse a second round pick, and then Verse was I think Verse was the one that they traded up to go and get. One of them they traded up to go and get in the second round. No, Verse is a first round pick.
Okay.
From last year, but obviously the Rams good team like towards the end of the first round. But one of them, because they're not all in the same draft. I'll look that up. Who was the guy that they took?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Fisk. Fisk they made a trade to go and get Fisk. Second round pick.
Okay. Well, we are definitely going to get to the Rams, but I thought seeing as the Niners are the favourites, and let's face it, the Niners are my team, I thought why not start with them? When I think about this offseason, it kind of has to start one place, which is the Brock Purdy contract. They've secured him. If you just read the headline number, it is a 5-year extension, 265 million. So the headline is, wow, that's 53 million per year. Like Purdy's not worth that. When you look into the detail of the contract, it's effectively a handsomely paid 2-year prove it deal, because Purdy's going to make 115 million over the next 3 years. But the key date is the 1st of April 2027. From here to then, the 49ers are on the hook for 9 million in cap this year, 25 million. Is it 25 million? It's 24 million in cap in 2026. If they decide to move on from Purdy before the 1st of April 2027, the consequences of that are light. It's only after that date does another 55 million become guaranteed. So effectively, it is a 2-year prove it deal for Purdy. And if he proves it, then the 49ers will commit to another 2 years. So it's 2 years plus 2 years.
In a way, like when you read this out loud, you were always going to pay him. It was never really in question.
No,
this was going to get done. You've lost these guys in the off season. You were always going to lose some guys. So now it's done.
It's very team friendly.
Are you happy?
I'm happy that it's team friendly because I do feel like last year kind of showed talent matters for Brock Purdy. You know, I'll put it this way: Brock Purdy on the scale of quarterback from Jimmy Garoppolo to Josh Allen is somewhere in the middle. And I think once again, it's kind of like what we were talking about with Jalen Hurts. He is polarizing because there is part of the crowd that think, well, he's just another Jimmy Garoppolo. No, he's not.
No.
Like the 49ers had to drag Jimmy Garoppolo, you know, to the Super Bowl basically and manage him in a way that, you know, I give Shanahan a lot of credit for. But on the other side, we also have, I guess, shall we say, the stats crowd who look at the numbers and, you know, he's been to a Super Bowl. So he's in that top 10 discussion. For me, and I'm a Niner, just being, you know, completely objective, I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. Like, I think he's right in the middle. And let's not forget, he is in what, year 3 or year 4 now. He's early on. Let's see what he does this year. But to me, he's got a lot to prove for this contract. Like if he's gonna see it out and not be sort of put through the trap door in after year 2, because it didn't go well last year when the talent wasn't there.
I think in a weird kind of way that it not going well last year has benefited the 49ers long term.
It has. I think you're right.
Now, you were dreading this. You were dreading this contract. And now that it's come and gone, everybody can move on with their life.
Yes.
And Niners can at least have some stability for the next 2 years. Yes, they've lost some guys, but some very talented guys, but they've lost some injury-prone players.
Mm.
Yeah, so the 49ers now can concentrate on the future. It could have been a Dak Prescott moment. It's not. You're still there. You're the favorites in your division. He's taken, like you said, a relatively team-friendly deal. I'd take it. And I'm not a Niners fan, so you should be delighted with it.
Absolutely. And, you know, he's guaranteed 115 million. So he's done pretty well himself.
Yeah, let's not Brock Purdy. He's doing okay. he's okay. Not Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott kind of levels, but he's doing fairly well for himself.
Yeah. And, you know, like 49er faithful, I'm no Brock Purdy hater. I've sung this guy's praises since the moment he stepped on the field against the Dolphins, against their zero blitz and dotted them up. Like he's done phenomenally well from that moment to get to here. And I'm fully behind him. But I'm also a realist. Like he's not a top 10 quarterback. He does not elevate, or he has not yet demonstrated he can elevate a less than roster. That's all I'm saying. He certainly showed that he can take a more than roster to the promised land. Just short if you're going against Mahomes in overtime in the Super Bowl. But he's done very well. And, you know, there's a lot of quarterbacks on massive money that have had more than rosters. We've spoken about the Cowboys that can't do that. So Brock Purdy, for me, in a nutshell, can do more with more. The big question is, can he do more with less? To be determined.
Yep. Yep. And the 49ers have drafted, every draft pick was on defense, was it?
Almost every. So Michael Williams, I was happy with that pick. He was one of 3 that I wanted at 11. It was him, Shamar Stewart, or Jihad Campbell. Even those were the 3 I was hoping for.
Campbell's next to Fred Warner. Oh,
and Jihad Campbell, of course, ends up at the Eagles at whatever number it was, 32, 31. So that's amazing for them. But then I think the issue for the 49ers is the interior of the defensive line. We've drafted rookies to fill that spot that was held by the gravedigger who missed all of last year. So, 330-pound Alfred Collins is a lot being asked of you. And that's where I think the Achilles heels for the 49ers is. Can they stop the run this year? Because it was a massive problem last year. And as we know, we've got Bobby Salah back as defensive coordinator. That's going to add percentage points alone to this defense because of the way that he will pump them up. But the scheme is predicated on front seven play. We haven't got an elite secondary. And for the most part, we haven't had that. And it's been masked because of the play of the front seven. So that's my hesitation with this team this year is how good is the defense going to be? Because, that's really been our route to success over the last few years, the elite defense.
You're paying a lot of guys,
Yeah.
a lot of money. So you're going to have imbalance on your roster, at least in terms of experience and salary. And so you're going to have to find them in the draft and cheaper free agents. And, not everyone is lucky enough to be the Eagles and to have this magic rotating salary cap that never seems to run out.
Yeah. So you have to, your success failure is going to lie on, will some of these draft players hit? And from a literal point of view, I'm really looking forward to seeing Nick Martin, aka the Missile, because he's going to be entrusted with replacing Dre Greenlaw. Those are some huge shoes to fill. Mm-hmm. But if you watch this guy, he literally is a 49er. Like, he will just run through a wall 50 times in a game, high impact, high pursuit, get up, do it again. Like, this guy's a psychopath. Like, he is a 49er. And I hope he hits.
So, yeah, the story, you know more, is your team. But the most common story that I've heard this year about the San Francisco 49ers is, have you seen the schedule? Have you seen the schedule? And, like, it's September. The regular season starts in September. At least you'd hope that everybody's going to make it through training camp healthy, and the 49ers should be healthy going into the year.
Yeah.
So, looking through the schedule, what do you make of the schedule?
Well, shall we do the win-loss and find out?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let me tally it. Otherwise, I'm just, 10-7? I don't know. I can't count. Okay, Jay, let's do the win-loss for your San Francisco 49ers. You start with 2 back-to-back road games at Seattle to open the season.
I say win.
At the Saints.
We have to win that game if we want any chance. Win.
Home for the Cardinals.
I say win.
3-0. Home for the Jags.
I say win.
4-0. At the Rams.
Levi South. Win.
Wow. The NFL's getting carried away now. At the Bucks.
This is a loss.
Home for the Falcons.
This is a loss.
At the Texans.
3-game slide. Loss.
Wow. So they're streaky. At the Giants.
Win.
Home for the Rams.
We own the Rams. Win.
Sweep. At the Cardinals.
This is a dangerous team. We're going to split. Loss.
Home for Carolina.
They will be. I think they'll be a difficult team, but I say win.
At Cleveland, and they're 5 quarterbacks.
We lost last time we went there. I say win.
Home for Cam Ward and the Titans.
Ooh. I say win.
At the Colts.
Win.
Home for the Bears.
I say loss.
And home for the Seahawks to round out your schedule.
Sweep. Win.
Okay, so the 49ers, the hype is real. They're going to go 12-5, according to Jay.
Wow. No bias at all.
It's 10.5. It's 10.5 for a reason. I mean, I have no bias at all. I have no dog in this fight. I'm looking at the schedule, and even if I threw the 50-50s, there's a few 50-50s. I mean, you got them sweeping the Rams. I'd have them probably splitting the Rams.
Yeah.
You had them drop into the Falcons. I don't see you losing at home to the Falcons. But then you had them on that 3-game slide, like Rams, Bucks, Falcons. I think the Falcons is a good get-right game coming out of that to get them back. Then you had them losing to the Texans on the road. Could win that.
Lost at the Cardinals. It's like it's a dodge. We could go there and blow them out, but
you had them losing to the Bears. If everyone's healthy, I think the 49ers beat the Bears at home. Cross-country trip for the Bears. That's is that a Sunday night game? Yeah, it's 1:20 kickoff our time. So that's Sunday.
I am high on the Bears though, probably higher than others. So
prime time under the lights at San Francisco. That's tough.
I think though, if that had been like week 1, 2, or 3, I'm saying Niners win. But I think I'm basing it on if the Bears grow, I could see them being difficult in December.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Rams are weird because they started out, couldn't win a game at the start of the year, and then they got rolling. So are they going to start slow, or are they going to continue off from last year?
Yeah. So, and my theory behind them with the Niners is, let's not forget, the Niners lost that first game. We were up 21 in the fourth quarter, and we blew that. Yeah. And then when we played in, I think at the start of December, I mean, it was half a 49ers team, and the Rams won 12-6. So history has shown that Shanahan knows how to get the better of McVay generally. We'll see if we return to form. I'm gonna side biasly on the side that we will.
All right. We're doing Rams.
Let's do Rams. Yeah, okay. So here it is, Paul. One of the hype teams of the offseason, the Rams. We're going to do the win-loss. Let's see what you make of them. Wow, what a way to start the season. Week 1, home to the Texans.
They start with a win.
Okay. On the road to the Titans.
Too early for Cam Ward. This is a win.
It's them again at the Eagles.
Oh, the rematch. Not in the snow. It's in September. No, they're not going to start 3-0. They dropped this.
At home to the Colts.
Win.
At home to the Niners.
You keep saying it. Shanahan, McVay. I'm going to listen to you. Loss.
At the Ravens.
Tough. Loss.
The NFC killers that are the Ravens.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson against NFC.
Then we head to London against the Jaguars.
Jags win in London, but this is tough. I say Rams go international and win.
At home to the Saints.
This is a win.
That's quite a quick return at the Niners. 4 weeks apart.
I say that they split, so they win one. They win this.
At home to the Seahawks.
Win.
Home to the Bucks.
Sunday night. They win.
At the Panthers.
Win.
At the Cardinals.
They drop this. It's got to be a loss in there.
It's that sneaky Cardinals again. Home to the Lions.
I say they win.
They've played each other so many times recently. Feels like almost like they're division rivals at this point.
Yeah.
At the Seahawks.
Loss.
Tough place to go.
Yeah.
At the Falcons.
I say they win.
And finishing off at home to the Cardinals.
They win to win the division if it's not won already.
Well, would you believe it? You have the Rams at 12-5, like I have the 49ers at 12-5.
These two, it's got to be between these two.
It feels that way.
It really does. And yeah, this division plays the AFC South and NFC South, and that's got to be in their favor. And the Rams, they get, at least from the Rams side, they get the Bucks at home and they get the Texans at home. So they get the two best teams from those two divisions in their building.
Whereas the Niners go on the road to both, I think.
Yeah, I know you go on the road to the Texans. Yeah, you go on the road to Tampa.
But I think the separator for the Rams and the Niners is it's the first place schedule versus the fourth place schedule. The Rams get the Ravens and the Eagles. The Niners don't. The Niners get the Browns and the Giants.
Yeah.
So bit of a difference there.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that's a 2-game swing right there.
Could be. But that's the thing with the Rams. Like, I get, when I don't want to be disrespectful and say they're a hype team because they're a very good team. But I feel like we need to pump the brakes a little bit on this team can win the NFC because we've seen different sides to them. We've seen the side that they went into Philadelphia in a snow game and pushed the Eagles very close, but they played that very same team in LA and Saquon Barkley ran for 300 yards on them. Or sorry, he had total scrimmage yards of 300 yards. So as good as they are, I look back at last season and say, show me the signature wins. And the signature wins, I think, were beating the Vikings. Sean McVay knows Kevin O'Connell very well. And then beating the Bills. Fair play. Great game.
That Bills game was insane.
Insane. and that was their signature win, I think. But it was a lot of we beat the Jets, we beat the Giants, we beat the Patriots. This is a I think okay, NFC South, AFC South. We're going to really see them against the Ravens and the Eagles again.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams only really got themselves together around the middle of October. Before that, they lost, except that game that you brought up earlier, the 21 point lead to the 49ers. They didn't win a football game. Their first win bar the 49ers was the 20th of October against the Raiders. So they dropped every game. Every
Wow.
game, including to the Bears, who were terrible last year. So yeah, the Rams kind of just and that's the nature of a young team. They were a very
Yeah.
young. There was no expectations on the Rams last year, and the hype is because they're young, and you would imagine that it's not a quarterback that you can kind of understand that. Oh, at least there's some precedent with it, with quarterbacks having a sophomore slump. Defensive line players and pass rushers generally get better and better.
Yeah.
They don't have to think about much except let's go get the quarterback. And you would imagine that Fisk and Verse are just going to get better.
I
Enough.
love Verse, I've got to say. Love him. The fact that he is complete, like he's not just I can rush the passer, like he's just as effective in the run game. So I agree. I mean, they will get better for sure.
Yeah. And Stafford, I don't go along totally with the point that he's clearly the best quarterback in this division. Yes, maybe he was at age 35 and younger, but now at age 37, he needs to at least show that he can continue to just do enough. Like he doesn't have to be a superstar with McVay. He just needs to play an 8 out of 10, and the Rams will win a lot of games. But you don't know when the cliff's going to come for Matthew Stafford. You don't
I
know when
mean,
it's going to come.
he's dealing with a back soreness right now. So, like how you've said about the Niners, fragile on offense with, really our two best players on offense, Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, they have injury issues. Well, what comes with age for Stafford, I mean, this guy is as tough as they come. But if you get injured, you get injured. Like if you have an injury that is serious enough, he won't be able to play. But he's going to play through a lot. I mean, he's already done that. He's proven that for a long time. But it's what you say, like, it's a fragile situation because if you lose Stafford, suddenly you're back with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. So, and yeah, Stafford at 37 and Davante Adams. But I think there's no question that Davante Adams is an upgrade on what we saw last year from Cooper Kupp. No question.
Absolutely.
And the way that he plays football, he's not going to drop off. He's not reliant on his speed. He's not reliant totally on his athletic ability. He's reliant on his just elite route running and elite just he can just fake defenders out. And we saw it with the Jets last year. He's just almost playing with these defensive backs who might be quicker than him, might might be younger, quicker, might be towards much further towards the start of their career than Davante at this point. But he's been around. He knows how to play this game. And yeah, you can have all the quickness in the world, but if you've been faked out twice within one route and your man's gone, then you're just not catching him. And yeah, he's playing again with another pretty damn good quarterback this year. But can
Yeah.
he do that? That's the question. I mean, he had that downtime. Well, he was still really, really productive for the Raiders with a collection of quarterbacks. I think that's a fair way to describe it down there.
Yeah. And it's what you said last year. For many games, Cooper Cup was a non-factor. Like, did he garner attention? I don't know, but in terms of production, he was a non-factor in a lot of games. So I don't think that will be the case with Davante Adams. And it's one of those with the Rams. I assume that Nacua will be the number one, but the Rams go with the hot hand in the game. Like
Yeah,
trust me, I know, and you'll know the reasons why I know. So if Nakua's hot, they'll keep feeding Nakua. If Davante Adams is hot, they'll keep feeding Adams. It could be a game where one of them doesn't really see targets. It's just it's why wouldn't you feed the hot hand? So this is definitely a big upgrade. And yeah, keep Stafford healthy is just what you have to do in this situation.
yeah. Okay, shall we? We haven't really talked too much about this team. Shall we talk about the Seahawks?
Yeah, yeah.
So Seattle, to me, Seattle have a lot, and this is the same with a lot of teams in the NFL, but there's a lot of questions in Seattle because, like, second year head coach saw improvement on defense. He's a defensive guy. Is the defense going to continue to improve? You would think so. New quarterback, new injured offensive lineman coming back to partner with first round draft pick. Is the O line going to be able to hold up? Elite, well, I think elite potential safety that they drafted to go with Julian Love. Imamori and Julian Love could be right up there for top safety combos in the league.
With Witherspoon at corner.
Yeah, so they're collecting some talent in Seattle in the secondary. DeMarcus Lawrence is he still he's older now, but is he still he at least will set the edge. He at least will be disciplined enough to set the edge so that the runs are forced inside and he'll tackle the runs that come his side.
Will he be better from not being at the Cowboys as well? I would say you might actually see him jump up.
Yeah, and he won't have to. Yeah, he won't have as much distractions in Seattle. Not as much media coverage, and yeah, definitely not so much craziness going on in Seattle. But yeah, Seattle. Who is Sam Darnold? I think we're going to find out. Really going to because
the
I think.
thing that
Go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think we would have found out if the Vikings had kept Sam Darnold. I think we'd have found out this year.
Yeah.
But now, new offensive coordinator, new location. Doesn't have Justin Jefferson.
Nope.
Jordan Anderson is a kind of similar player to JSN. DK Metcalf's not in town. Yeah,
That's the glaring change for me. You lose DK Metcalf, you lose Tyler Lockett, and you've replaced them with Cooper Cup, Marcus Valdez-Scantling. And obviously, Jackson Smith and Jigba will be a higher priority than Marquez Valdez-Scantling, but it just feels like that is a downgrade.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I see the concern for sure, and I think Seattle ride or die with the offensive line, the play action, and the running game with Kenneth Walker. I think he needs to have a big year, and I think there's a big year in this guy, Kenneth Walker. I think he's a very
Yeah.
so
Like he's legitimately one where you put Kenneth Walker, in that prime 49ers scheme and he looks like a superstar. Like he's shown that he can turn something out of nothing really, and if there's a hole and he hits it, he's gone.
yeah. So Seattle. I mean, you have to have somebody finishing last in this division, and but they're not the worst. Oh, it goes without saying they're not going to be the worst bottom team in a division in the NFL. I just
No
have the
way.
bottom in this division, but I think it's going to be close.
Mm.
What do you feel of the Cardinals?
The first thing I think about with the Cardinals is, will we see the real Marvin Harrison Jr. this year? Because I'd say it was a disappointing year. Like, not just from stats, but from play. Like, if you just look at the stats, you'll go, well, he had nearly 900 yards and 8 touchdowns. That's quite, disappointing for, should we say, the expectation level that we had with it. Well, at least I had with him.
Mm.
But he showed in moments the player that I think he can be. And
Yeah,
it's whether or not will this be a breakout for him. Whatever the issues were last year in understanding chemistry with Kyler Murray, because he made some important plays with Murray, like in San Francisco. We need a stop. It's third down, under 2 minutes. Murray hits Marvin Harrison kind of on a faded throw to the outside. He makes the play. They win the game. It's not a big sexy play, but it was the game winning play. So, and when I look at this offense, I'm starting, originally I was thinking, has Kyler Murray been well supported in his time in Arizona? Well, he is now on offense because their offensive line has always been a question. But when you look at the skill players, Marvin Harrison Jr., James Conner has been big time for them.
yeah,
Trey McBride at tight end, and even these other receivers like Dortch with the speed. It's a good unit.
yeah. They're kind of sneaky. The
Yeah,
Cardinals. They honestly are. If you ask the average NFL fan who's maybe clocks in during the regular season, name me five Arizona Cardinals. I think they might struggle.
yeah.
Honest. And that's yeah as well. But they've, to me, they've actually quietly, because it's the Cardinals, so of course it's quiet. They've they've had a pretty good offseason. They've gone and taken Josh Sweat from the Eagles, who the question will always be, are they going to be the same player when they leave the Eagles? But
Fair.
very productive in Philadelphia. Walter Nolan in the draft, who supposed to be the best defensive tackle in the draft. So we'll see. And then they've gone and got some veterans. So
Calais Campbell.
my man Calais Campbell is still playing in the NFL. He's got to be, how old is Calais now?
He's got to be like 39, surely.
I'm going to look it up, Calais.
Yeah, because I'm sure he was up there in age when he was in Saxonville, and that was a while ago now.
Okay, so happy birthday to Calais Campbell. Before the start of the regular season, he will turn age 39.
Wow.
1st of
Okay.
September turns 39 years old.
This is a mountain of a human being.
Yeah. Yeah. But the reason I brought him up, yeah, he maybe he's still productive, but we'll see. But he's at least there to coach
Oh yeah.
Alton Nolan, teach him about practice and how to be a pro, and as well see Josh Sweat and help him along the line. Calais Campbell's been there, seen there, done it. Buda Baker's still, to me, a very, very, very good safety in the NFL who's very good in run support. Always see him making tackles down in the box, Buda Baker. You're like, where did he come from? Like,
Doesn't get his dues because he's in Arizona, I
yeah,
think.
think he's decent. And you brought him up. James Conner just has had a complete second lease of life since leaving the Steelers. I liked him on the Steelers, but yeah,
Yeah.
in the Cardinals, he seems to run angry in in Arizona, and he's a big guy. I don't remember him being that big. Like,
He put up some massive performances last year. Like not just like, oh, he's hit 100, like he's hitting like 150 and couple of touchdowns. Like he became a big part of that offense.
yeah, big pickup for the Cardinals. Big pickup. And he's done very well for himself to be a starting NFL running back. You know, to win that job when like he wasn't going to be a starter in this league when the
Yeah.
Steelers. So credit to him.
I think with them, it was like we've always said it, the trenches are where they are short. So the fact that they've gone out and got Sweat, they've drafted the D tackle. Okay, Calais Campbell, 39. I'm sure he's gonna play his part, whether it's on the field or, like you said, teaching these players about being a pro and technique. They've focused on the area of need.
Yeah, and it's the NFL. It's amazing how quick things turn around. This was it 2 years, two or 3 years ago that the Cardinals were, oh, this is the worst team. I think Alabama would beat this team.
Yeah, I remember that.
When the Cardinals were supposedly were they tanking or
They were just bad, I think.
no? 2 years ago when they won I think 6 or 7 games, and they were really, really stubby. Like they were not supposed to win any games, and they were winning. Was that 2 or 3 years ago? Am I remembering right?
You're right, because am I right in saying that Kyler Murray was injured? Because
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
do you remember the infamous they beat the Cowboys? Like, and it was like that, the Cowboys are gonna walk in there and absolutely beat the brakes off them, and then they end up like sneakily beating them. It's funny because their head coach, I think, is a brilliant head coach. I just don't think that they've quite built the rosters yet for him to really give them a shot.
Yeah.
But that, for example, that team that you're talking about, maybe that team should have won 2 games that year. But Jonathan Gannon is a situation like he will play against the opponent. He's not, like Shanahan. Shanahan is, this is our scheme. Yeah, I'll do a bit of game planning, but the scheme's good enough to beat teams. He will be game plan specific against who he is playing.
Mm.
And I think that showed up in the results. Because I remember that Cowboys game. Dak couldn't do nothing for 3 quarters. The Cowboys on offense couldn't do nothing.
Yeah, the Cardinals just yeah, they're a very hard team to predict, but
Do not bet on this team ever.
wow.
For or against. Do not do it.
Or maybe just bet on them when they're not expected to do anything.
Yeah,
And
on the plus.
and yeah, and you might get good value just because they're the Cardinals and they're not expected to do anything. But now they seem to be expected. At least they're. I'm surprised that they're above
Very surprised, I've got to say.
the
But
Seahawks. But
but the fact that they're both at 8.5 wins just tells you how close, Vegas aren't sure. They've got the 4 teams split by 2 games. So,
mm,
and for good reason. This division is always close. Yeah, this 49ers were 6-11 last year, but they were still alive for a long time there. And yeah, the injuries just piled up and, you know, it was done deal. But the other three were right there until the end. So it wouldn't surprise me if all 4 teams are in the running entering December.